Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Friday. We just want to say you've worked super hard this week and we are so proud for all the home learning that you have achieved. Right, for our Friday's maths lesson, we're going to be having a look at fractions of amounts. But before we do that, let's have a look at our starter activities. Like usual, can you grab a piece of paper or open up a Word document, and I'd like you to complete the 3 questions once you've paused the video, and then once you've done that, let's press play and go through them together. Off you go. Fantastic. Let's have a look at our solutions. So our first question, we've got 50.27 and we're dividing it by 10. Now our answer, you should have got 5.027. Let's have a look how you've worked that out. So when I'm looking at dividing by 10 or 100 or 1,000, I'm not going to use my bus stop method because I've got an easier method. I'm going to use my place value. So I need to make a place value grid, and I'm going to do that and have a look at my place value holders. Yours is going to be a lot neater than mine. Put my decimal point in the middle there. Let's start with my thousands column. So what becomes after the decimal point? Then let's have a look at my hundredths column. Then my tenths. What becomes before my decimal point? Let's have a look at our ones column, our tens, and I'll pop my hundreds in there, but I don't think I'll use it because I'm dividing. So as I'm dividing, I know my number's going to get smaller, and I'm dividing by 10. So each number, each digit in my place value holder is going to move one place to the right because I'm dividing by 10. When we divide by 10, each number moves once. So let's put our original number in there, 50.27. And let's move each number one place value holder to the right. So my 7 comes into my thousands column, my 2 goes into my hundreds column, my 0 comes over my decimal point into my tenths column, and my 5 goes into my ones column. So my answer should be 5.027. Right, let's have a look at question number 2. We have got 604,293 and we're subtracting 56,197. You should have got the answer of 548,186. Let's see how you got there. So I'm using column subtraction. And when I'm doing my column subtraction, I need to make sure that all my numbers are aligned correctly in the right columns, because there's nothing worse than when children work out, or adults for that matter as well, work out column subtraction and the columns are everywhere, but you're year 6s, so we've got this cracked. So in my ones column I'm going to put a 7, in my tens column I'm going to put a 0, in my hundreds column I'm going to put a 1, in my thousands a 6, and in my tens thousands I'm going to put 5. Right, 3 take away 7, I can't do it. I'm going to have to exchange and regroup from my 9. So my 9 becomes an 8 and my 3 becomes a 13. 13 take away 7 is 6. 8 take away 0 is 8. 2 take away 1 is 1. Okay, I've come to another dilemma. 4 take away 6, I can't do that, so I'm going to have to exchange and regroup again. But I can't exchange and regroup from a 0. I'm going to have to come over to my 6. So my 6 becomes a 5, and my 0 becomes a 10, because before the 0 had no value. It does have a value now, it's a value of 10, so I can cross my 10 out, that becomes a 9. My 4 becomes a 1. 14 take away 6 is 8. 9 take away 5 is 4. And 5 take away 0 is 5. So my answer should be 548,186. Well done if you got that one right. And finally, my last question. It's a fraction question. I've got 4/5 and I need to add 1/8 to it. So in order to do this, we need to find a common multiple for a common denominator. A common multiple of 5 and 8. The lowest common multiple preferably. Right. 5 times 8 is 40. I know that that's my lowest common multiple. I can't think of a multiple that's lower. So we are going to put them over 40. Now remember, whatever I do to my denominator, I must do to my numerator. So I've times 5 by 8 to get to 40, so I need to times 4 by 8. 4 times 8 is 32. I've times 8 by 5 to get to 40, so I need to times 5 by 1, which is 5. And then let's add them together. Only my numerators, we never add the denominators. 5 add 32 is 37. So my answer is 37/40. Let's have a look at our learning for today. Right, today our lesson objective is to find fractions of an amount, and we're focusing on our fluency. So when we're finding fractions of amounts, we are finding a fraction of a whole number. Our first fraction of amount we need to find 1/6 of 30. And how I'm going to represent 30 is through a bar model. So this bar model, the whole of it represents the number 30. I've divided it into 6 sections because in order to find one section of 30, I need to divide my number by 6 because it's split up into 6 sections. 30 divided by 6, pause the video now, I want you to tell me, work it out. Okay, let's find out our answer. 30 divided by 6 is 5. I know that 6 times 5 is 30, therefore 30 divided by 6 is 5. So, 1/6 of 30 is 5. Right, now we're moving on to finding 5/6 of 30. Now, I know we've just worked out that 1/6 of 30 is 5. We know that. We need to find 5 of them. So what I need to do is I need to times 5 by 5 in order to find out 5 sections, 5/6 of 30. 5 times 5. Again, pause the video, work it out, or tell me. Off you go. 5 times 5 is 25. Therefore, 5/6 of 30 is 25. Now that we have looked at the visual concept of finding fractions of amounts through bar models, we need to remember the method and apply this to our learning. So a simple method to work out a fraction of an amount is taking your whole number, dividing it by your denominator, and multiplying it by your numerator. So dividing by the bottom and timesing by the top. So let's have a look at this one. We've got 2/5 of 30. Our whole number's 30. We need to look at dividing 30 by 5 in order to get one section of the total number, 1/5 of 30. 30 divided by 5 is 6. I'm not after 1/5 though, am I? I'm after 2/5. So I need to take my answer for my 1/5, which is 6, and multiply it by my numerator, which is 2. 6 times 2 is 12. So our answer for 2/5 of 30 is 12. Let's have a look what we are doing today for our learning. Right, boys and girls, what I'd like you to do, you have been given your White Rose booklets, they have been delivered to you. I'd like you to turn to the page called Fractions of Amounts. You can find the page number in your contents page. Like we do in class, can you complete the 4 pages based on fractions of amounts? Once you've done that, the answers have been uploaded to Class Dojo as a PDF file. Mark your work, take a picture of it, and submit it back as a portfolio so your teachers can look at the amazing learning you've done. Well done again for this week. I hope you have a lovely weekend and you produce some amazing maths. Off you go.